quite unusual for a business consultant to get emotional, but I'll try to keep my wits. Over the last couple of years in strategic foresight practice, I have noticed various attitudes towards the future, various ways of looking at it, some creative, but some rather gullible and uncritical. Most of managers who come to see me for their strategic problems display a rather gullible view of the future, which may be comforting for them, but is also quite false. This is why I tell them, and this is what I'd like to tell you today: challenge your assumptions and think in terms of multiple future, because your future may be full of wicked problems. You've probably heard about the so-called butterfly effect, where a tiny local event induces dramatic change at the other end of the system. It may be factual in some cases, like in meteorology, and it has inspired some great pieces of fiction, like Ray Bradbury's The Sound of Thunder. Well, it's also a powerful metaphor to speak about the global challenges. Some people enjoy it, you know, a moment of caring reflection about the world, start worrying about your future, about sustainability, about global challenges, and of course, everyone who does it deserves a pat on the shoulder, the butterfly effect. Now, come on. What a lot of rubbish that we treat ourselves to. Challenges of tomorrow are not butterflies that flit around at the other end of the world. They are bloodthirsty horseflies, mosquitoes coming in swarms, all biting you, sucking your blood. There are so many that when you try the first one with your palm, the other one bites the back of your hand, and then there's another one on your neck, and you end up all sore and swollen. You can just cry and wring your hands. These kind of problems will not be solved by drones, robots, and cloud computing. Great innovations, I agree, but they only solve complicated problems of the past, ones that we could pin down, like butterflies. Now, the wicked problems of the future are not just complicated. They are occult, they are obscure, and hardest of all, they are very hard to grasp. This is why you need foresight. This is why you really need to challenge your assumptions about what the future is going to be like. Now, you could say, I live in a glass house of the so-called innovative economy. Well, you should be very afraid indeed, and I'm going to tell you why right in a minute. But back to our mosquitoes. Many organizations, like the Millennium Project, a leading global non-profit think tank that 4CF has the pleasure of and privilege of being representing here in Poland, come up with digests for government people, where they put all those challenges on one page so they are easier to grasp, easier to digest for those policymakers. But you know what happens next? I've seen it, I'm going to tell you. When a policymaker looks at such a page, he says, well, clean water really, well, it's improving in our country. Women's rights? Come on, my missus beat me up last week, give me a break. In transnational crime? Well, no transnational crime to date, so now you know, tick, done, solved, forgotten. No foresight, lack of foresight. These people are shaping your future, you should be very afraid indeed. Of course, many of you could say, I'm different, I'm an innovative entrepreneur, you look at my results, look at all the awards I got. You can virtually see your competitors fade away in a cloud of dust if you look in the rearview mirror. But there is a reason why your windscreen is larger than your rearview mirror. Hello, it's good to know what's up ahead. At some point, I was advising an automotive company that wanted to gain some insights about how to get a better performance from their past data, and they had analytics systems and all that. They were somewhat uncomfortable to admit that in some circumstances, the engine volts they produce may just become obsolete over the next couple of years. This is why we changed approach. This is why we showed them foresight. And we asked them to think of the future in terms of very dire scenarios. Well, will foresight give you an insight into what exactly is going to happen and when? Of course not. Foresight pokes your comfort zone. It makes you stronger. It will not tell you when is the event going to occur, but it will make your skin thicker so that the bite will not hurt so much. Two key things that I need to tell you about foresight. First, it's all about challenging your assumptions. Second, you need to think of the future in terms of multiple futures and not just one. Why? Well, regardless of whether you are a taxpayer, a government official, a business owner, or an employee, the change is accelerating. The change is coming at you very fast. And the faster you go, the further your headlights should shine. Thank you very much.